Right now, a historic moment. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency. The business tycoon and TV personality capping his improbable political journey with an astounding upset victory. Donald J. Trump will become the 45th president of the United States, defeating Hillary Clinton in a campaign unlike anything we've seen in our lifetime. Donald Trump wins the presidency of the United States. He is now going to be called President-elect Donald Trump. He's walking up right now. You see him right there. He's going to be speaking momentarily. He's got his wife there. History has been made. Jake, this is a moment a lot of people are going to remember.
For those who have chosen not to support me in the past, of which there were a few people, I'm reaching out to you for your guidance and your help so that we can work together and unify our great country. As I've said from the beginning, ours was not a campaign, but rather an incredible and great movement made up of millions of hardworking men and women who love their country and want a better, brighter future for themselves and for their family. It's a movement comprised of Americans from all races, religions, backgrounds, and beliefs who want and expect our government to serve the people, and serve the people it will. Working together, we will begin the urgent task of rebuilding our nation and renewing the American dream. I've spent my entire life in business looking at the untapped potential in projects and in people all over the world. That is now...
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones, right now, Donald Trump.
Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
Because a vision softly creeping.
You're awake, by the way. You're not having a terrible, terrible dream. Also, you're not dead and you haven't gone to hell. This is your life now. This is our election now. This is us. This is our country. It's real.
It has to be a joke. I do not believe this is happening. I'm literally about to fucking kill myself, and I'm not kidding. You better fucking fix this shit right now. I literally am gonna die. I need an ambulance. I can't believe
that in her lifetime she deserves to be the first female president. And that's what makes me so sad. And President Obama, Mr. Obama, I want to say thank you for everything you've done in these past years.
If you're not fucking pissed right now, what is wrong with you? What is fucking wrong with you if you're not pissed right now?
Left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
You make me laugh. God bless you.
not my president! Not my president! Not my president! Not my president!
Still remains within the sound of silence.
Start packing. He has 23 celebrities who promised to leave if Trump was elected. Well, let's see who they are. Let's see if they follow through with their promise. The Conservative Tribune reports that prior to the president-elect Donald Trump's victory in Tuesday presidential his victory in Tuesday's presidential election, numerous snooty liberal elitists threatened to leave the United States were he to win. This is a common theme. They do this every time. Now, including among the cadre of pompous blowhards they write was every type of liberal imaginable. Liberal actors, filmmakers, models, liberal singers, TV hosts, and of course, liberal comedians like Jon Stewart, known for hosting the Daily Show on Comedy Central for nearly 2 decades. Stewart was an especially nasty liberal who spent much of the election season besmirching Trump and his supporters as racist, sexist, bigots, and whatever else. Well, the joke's on you guys. We just painted this nation red. Red, baby.
Now President Obama weighing in, saying yet again that he does not believe that Donald Trump can end up winning this election.
Can you imagine Donald Trump standing up one day and delivering a State of the Union address?
Well, I can imagine it in a Saturday night skit.
Mr. Trump will not be president.
I don't see how he can win.
So Donald Trump will lose, and he will then destroy the Republican Party.
Can Donald Trump win a general election? My view is no.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so
Doesn't matter.
far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I can't find a single Republican. I talked to probably 12 Republican senators yesterday or their representatives. I couldn't find a single one who now thinks they're going to win.
Donald Trump is not going to get the nomination.
I'd like to support the nominee, but he's not going to be the nominee. That's just not going to happen.
Well, I don't think it's likely that Donald Trump will be the nominee.
He is not going to be the nominee.
Well, I'm going to support the Republican nominee, and I'm comfortable that it's not going to be Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is not going to get this Republican nomination.
So, Jenny, could he actually win?
No freaking way!
Do not tell me that Donald Trump is in this to win this, okay? He's a sideshow.
I don't think his plan has anything to do with Latinos. His plan, his strategy is to win the White House without Latinos. I don't think he can do it.
Jorge Ramos. Jorge, thanks.
The Fox News decision desk has called Pennsylvania for Donald Trump. This means that Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States.
Became President-elect Trump, and for a third straight night since, massive protests unfolding across the U.S. Some demonstrators suggesting today that they've been saying they're saving their energy for this. Welcome to the Kelly File, everyone. I'm Sandra Smith, in for Megyn Kelly tonight. We have a live look for you at Miami, Fort Worth, Atlanta, and New York tonight, where the usual Friday night festivities are being put on hold as hundreds of people take to the streets protesting President-elect Donald Trump. And while things may be tense right now, it was a different story in the city of Portland, Oregon last night, where an initially peaceful protest involving some 4,000 people wound up descending into what police designated a full-on riot. And Democratic analyst Sheriff Clark, this is something you are very familiar with. What do you make of what is happening in U.S. cities tonight as these protests continue just 3 nights after Donald Trump was elected president?
Well, these are anarchists, full-fledged anarchists. They don't even support the Constitution. This isn't constitutionally protected behavior. They also advocate for the overthrow of the rule of law here in the United States of America. This is designed to intimidate the Trump administration right out of the gate and to intimidate Trump supporters so that they don't go big and bold once they take office in January. But they cannot be dissuaded by this. Donald Trump ran on a theme, one of the themes of law and order. I'm tired of these police executives, not the cops. The cops are under orders, but I'm tired of them tiptoeing around this. You look at the destruction of these businesses. This undermines the public confidence that their government can't get their arms around this thing. They come in the morning, their businesses are destroyed, cars are vandalized and set on fire, people are injured. This has to be quelled immediately. And if they do not, you're going to see more property destruction. You're going to see people injured, police officers injured, and possibly people killed.
So, Julie,
this must be quelled immediately.
There are calls, Julie, for Donald Trump to say something and step in here. I mean, He really did. He took to Twitter today, said he loves the fact that the small groups of protesters last night have passion for our great country. He said, we will all come together and be proud. That was after 9 hours before that. He said these protests were very unfair. But where's the president? Does he need to step up and condemn this behavior? The White House has reacted, saying this is constitutionally protected speech and protest. Should President Obama say something at this point?
Well, there's two different things going on. It is constitutionally protected protest and speech when it's just speech. When they start rioting.
You've been in that party a long time. Answer me. What did you get? You got a president. He's worried about his legacy. Well, you want Hillary to get in to protect your legacy because Trump said the minute he get in, he's going to reverse the Affordable Care Act because that's your signature achievement. To show you how hateful the enemy is, he hates that you achieved what you did achieve. So he said, I'm going to tear it up when I get in. So he don't want his legacy destroyed. Mr. President, let the man do if he get in what he wanted. Because he's not destroying your legacy. If your legacy is bound up in an Affordable Care Act that only affects a few million people and they're trying to make it really difficult for those of us who signed up, that's not your legacy. But I just want to tell you, Mr. President, you from Chicago and so am I. I go out in the street with the people. I visited the worst neighborhoods. I talked to the gangs. And while I was out there talking to them, they said, you know, Farrakhan, the president ain't never come. Could you get him to come and look after us? There's your legacy, Mr. President. It's in the street with your suffering people, Mr. President. And if you can't go and see about them, then don't worry about your legacy. Because the white people that you've served so well, they'll preserve your legacy. The hell they will. But you didn't earn your legacy with us. We put you there. You fought for the rights of gay people. You fought for the rights of this people and that people. You fight for Israel. Your people are suffering and dying in the streets. That's where your legacy is. Now you failed to do what should have been done. But it's never too late. You, like Jimmy Carter, can be a better president after you leave the restrictions of your White House and come on back to the hood and start organizing like you did. And with your influence all over the world, let's make a new and better
As
people.
Americans turn the corner towards the final presidential debate on Wednesday, the election circus has devolved into personal attacks and character assassination rather than any real focus on the issues plaguing the United States.
The media outlets did not even attempt to confirm the most basic facts, because even a simple investigation would have shown that these were nothing more than false smears.
Facing an avalanche of new accusations from women who are coming forward to claim he kissed and fondled them. 6 women are going public today with stories that echo what Trump himself said in that notorious hot mic video.
He called this woman Miss Piggy. Her name is Alicia Machado.
Trump spoke out about those claims on Fox News.
And she was the worst we ever had.
the worst, the absolute worst. And she gained a massive amount of weight. And it was a real problem.
Regardless of the fact that Obama's unconstitutional open border policy is quietly responsible for killing as many as 7,500 Americans every year, 20 on average per day, due to the hordes of illegal drivers flooding the roads, while Obama creates a pilot program to have Americans pay for Syrian refugees to come to the United States and move into our homes. Regardless of the fact that food stamp participation has increased by 78% over the past 10 years, regardless of the fact that Obama and Hillary's new Cold War rhetoric, amplified by a suicidal mainstream media, has obliterated any shred of integrity 6% of Americans still think cable-fed propaganda media has, after polls revealed America is almost completely done with the mainstream media. Mainstream media's stranglehold of propaganda desperation and damage was palpable on the campaign trail, as if its demise was what truly concerns Americans, but obviously has panicked the ruling elite.
He doesn't have the temperament, he doesn't have the knowledge, he doesn't seem to have the interest in acquiring the knowledge or the basic honesty that a president needs to have. And that was true before we heard him talking about how he treats women.
This is not something that we can ignore. It's not something we can just sweep under the rug as just another disturbing footnote in a sad election season. Because this was not just a lewd conversation. This wasn't just locker room banter. This was a powerful individual speaking freely and openly about sexually predatory behavior, and actually bragging about kissing and groping women, using language so obscene that many of us were worried about our children hearing it when we turn on the TV.
You know, she made a powerful speech. They said it was the greatest speech of the decade, I think.
Speaking to everyone out there who respects women and saying, put your politics aside for a second and be able to call something that's indefensible, and that's what his behavior has been.
Put your politics aside for a second.
Online news is the future, and Washington, D.C. knows it. 6 in 10 Americans are getting their news from social media alone, while 1 in 5 households has dropped cable's buffet of news propaganda to research digital options and think for themselves. Mainstream media, with its hubris as shallow and obvious as the corporate government criminals it represents, appears to be breathing its last gasp. John Bound for Infowars.com.